Three-time Grammy-nominated contemporary Christian artist Michele has led a fascinating and accomplished life. Not only has she had multiple hit songs, but she's also been an actress, a championship horseback rider. Most recently, Michele has concentrated her efforts on one of her greatest passions, helping others, which is why she decided to write the book called Untangled. She's here now to tell us more about it. This is a very vulnerable book, isn't it? You're really kind of bearing it all here.
Yeah, it took me 3 rewrites, Meryl, because I really wanted to tell the truth of kind of the lifespan of, my beginnings as opposed to who I am today.
Yeah.
And so I had to keep writing it because I finally just took the shield off and just said it rather than trying to figure out how to say it. And it basically boils down to the chapter 1 is it starts with probably the worst day of my life. And I was 29 years old. And, in retrospect, sometimes the worst day of your life can actually turn out to be a wonderful gift. It's the day that you decide to really look at things that you're choosing and find out why, and then let God untangle you.
So once you peel back the layers, where do you go from there?
Once you peel back the layers, you have to get used to being comfortable in that new set of clothing, like you and I were talking about before we started here. I mean, we get used to wearing things like shame and fear, and we think, well, my mother was that way, or my father was that way. This is just who I am. And I came to a point where I said, I don't want to be like that. I get to make my own choices. God has more for me than that. So that became the untangling. And the story is really just that. It's little snippets of stories where you kind of go into the room with me. You're right there with me. It's not a how-to book. It's more very cinematic, personal pictures of what hope looks like. And what I've been excited to see is that as people read Untangled, they start looking at their own story and what they want to rewrite, and they want to end up differently.
And it inspired a couple of songwriters to write a song, too.
Amazing.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Yeah, thank you, Meryl. Alan Shamblin is a great writer here in town, of course. He has the new single for Celine Dion, Recovering, which is wonderful, but he's been a dear friend of mine for years. And when I wrote Untangled, it wasn't a book yet, I sent it to Alan. I said, could you just tell me if this is any good or not? And he read it in one sitting. And he called me the next day and he said, wow, this book really touched me deeply and really challenged me, encouraged me. I want to write a song. I'm getting together with Mike Reed next week. And he said, can we try to write a song? And in one sitting, they wrote the title cut of my CD, You Untangle Me.
And gave you writer's credit on it, too.
They gave me writer's credit, and I said, I wasn't in the room. I said, I wasn't even in the room. And I'll never forget it. Alan said, yes, you were. We had your book in our lap, and we took many of our ideas right from your book, so we're giving you writer's credit.
Wow. You've got a big event coming up this weekend?
Yes, Sunday, we have the Closer to Home 17th annual benefit, started in honor of my mother years ago, and we help people in Middle Tennessee every single day anonymously. And so we'll have Jody Messina, Victoria Jackson with at Green's Grocery for our benefit.
Oh, wonderful. Good things going on in your life. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
A lot of hope in this book. Michele's book is called Untangled. The CD, You Untangled Me, hits shelves and music outlets tomorrow.